Good morning, everybody. My name's Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. I'm not going to make a long video today. I'm just having a day where I'm kind of deep in thought, and so I just wanted to give you an update. We've heard something more about my dad. They have said that he has dementia, and he has become violent with some of the nurses. It's so not like him at all. He is the nicest man in the world, but apparently he has changed into someone who is very abusive and nasty to the staff at the home. And we have been told we were going to look for another placement for him, and we've been told that there isn't anybody that really is wanting to take on a patient that is going to be such a handful, I guess. So we have decided, and I shouldn't say we, my brother Gary has had to make a very hard decision. And so what he is going to do is he is going to set up the room that he and Dad have in my other brother's house. He's going to set it up like a hospital room, and he is going to care for my dad at home. He said that right now he's bedbound, so he said that he will just bring in the equipment that he is needing to have. He can't bring in home health care because he doesn't. My other brother has large dogs, and of course, you know, home health care workers won't come in if you've got large dogs. And it's not Gary's house, it is Grant's house, so therefore he can't do that. But Dad will be much happier at home. He is not nasty like that with Gary. He's a handful, but, Gary knows how to talk to him and look after him. So it's going to be a very hard thing for Gary to have to do. But in the same token, we don't want him. The other option is, if they have to put him somewhere, they would end up putting him in a psych ward or something, and we will not let that happen to my father. He is a nice person. It's not fair that you live a good life all the way through your life, and then at the very end, this is how you get treated. It's not right. But he's lucky because my brother is going to look after him just like a champion, and we just have to be there to support Gary for as much as we can. So that's the update on my dad, and I've been just sort of contemplating and thinking about things here today, and so I'm just going to leave it at that. But I am going to tell a story. Just again, doesn't put me in a great light. that's part of the course these days. Anyway, when I said about Bill not being able to have both cream and sugar, and how mean I was, and I couldn't believe that I was like that. Well, it brought back to mind that that's not the only thing I did that was mean. There was another day when he was making a lovely dinner for us. It was French onion soup, wasn't it? Yes, he was making French onion soup, and he had a mandolin to slice the onions. And when he was slicing them nice and thinly, he also shaved off his fingertips. So he had the need to go to the hospital because he was bleeding. So I wasn't home at the time, so he wrapped it up really firmly and whatnot and waited for me to come home. And by the time I got home a couple hours later, it was still seeping blood through the bandages. Well, at that time, there was a $10 fee if you went to the hospital. And I knew that this was going to coagulate, and by the time he would get there, it was 2 hours past when it had happened, that it would probably already, be sealing over. So there was kind of a waste of $10 as far as I was concerned. So that's what I told him. I said, just wait and go to the doctor's tomorrow. I said, it's a weekend. Just go to the doctor's tomorrow and have her double check it and whatnot. And, Anyway, the next morning he gets up. That wound is still seeping blood. It hadn't sealed up. So anyway, I said, well, there's no point in going to the hospital now. You're on your way to the doctor's office. She'll stitch you up if you need to. He goes to the doctor's office, and the doctor says, why didn't you go to the hospital? He says, my wife wouldn't let me. Which I guess was true. The wife didn't want him to go. But anyway, she had to stitch him up, and she said, you tell your wife next time you need to go to the hospital, fork over the $10. So I guess I was mean more often than I thought. That's not me now. Just the same as the way my dad's behaving is not him. That's, you know, Dad never would have done that. He would have always taken Mom to the hospital. Anyway, I love my family. I'm very fortunate to have the family I have. And Gary, if you're watching this, you know I love you. All right, see you tomorrow.